Hello, my loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If you're meeting for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. As you guys can tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be diving into the energy of this week. A little late, but better late than never. Okay, the deck that I will be using, and all decks will be listed down below. I'm live shuffling for you guys, as well as links to Behati Love Notes, which is what I'm the most consistent with. It's my membership that I shuffle and pull for the collective, as well as pull charts for them every single day. Let's go ahead and dive right in. There's a lot going on. I debated on whether or not I was going to do this reading for us this week, simply because the apothecary reopened, and then I shut it down shortly after because the orders were kicking up a little higher than I would have been able to manage as mom. So I will be reopening again, but there's just too much going on in the energies, astrologically speaking, and I want to talk about that first. I did pour into Behati Love Notes. I want to give a lot to the tribe too as well in this moment, because there is a major opportunity to heal, but there's also a major opportunity to run away. Sorry about that, loves. My camera went down. But Mars is currently transiting through Cancer, and Chiron is currently transiting through Aries. There's been a lot of emphasis lately on confronting the aspects of ourselves that hold us back, that make us lock into this idea of like ego identity, like how we know ourselves to be, and what makes us feel empowered, what makes us feel brave, what the armor that we use in order to walk through the earth, in order to walk through society, and how that armor can oftentimes be handed down from the generations before, or could be handed down, or what we create, what we build to defend ourselves, to protect ourselves when we are most weak and we're most vulnerable, when we don't feel like we're protected, where we don't feel like we're seen. There is also this emphasis on like masculine energy, and this isn't an energy that comes from the external always. However, sometimes we choose the masculine that we are within us. I hope that makes sense. Like, let's say if you are someone who dates men or dates women, but the masculine that you are attracted to, right, can reflect the masculine that you're used to inside, or the masculine within you that is unhealed, or how they handle conflict, or how they handle their masculine identity. And if there is imbalance or not a space to kind of like confront those demons, I hate to say it, but like the inner war, the battle that you have within, it will pour out. If you are someone who is not used to being protected, if you are someone who's not used to being provided for, if you are always in your masculine energy, you got to be really careful with these type of energies. And take a shot for every time I say energy, right? I'm sorry. I wish there was a better word, another word for it. So forgive me for that. Or maybe I'm speaking to myself in this moment because I get so annoyed with how often I say the word energy, but for real, moving forward. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is Mars moving through Cancer right now, not only does it want to learn how to actively nurture and rebuild from the root so that you feel safe, but there's also an opportunity to learn yourself, like learn who you are today, learn, and then also the action steps that you take, what you do, not because you feel a sense of duty or you're obligated or it's your responsibility, but because you want to, because it brings you joy, because it makes you happy, because it doesn't compromise who you are. It adds to it's a reflection of your purpose. It's a reflection of your identity, who you are when you are moving with integrity. If these are things that are not in alignment right now, these vibes they're working to teach you. They're working to break you free. Also, all of our relationships are being challenged right now. When I say relationships, I'm not talking exclusively your relationship with other people. It could be your relationship with your work. It could be your relationship with your appearance. It could be your relationship with food. And if those relationships are being challenged, if they're sick, if they're toxic, if they're off balance, we have an opportunity this week to see it for what it is. Feel the pain, the sting of it, especially when we start to peel away and pull back what we use as a comfort, a security blanket, what we use as a shield to stop ourselves from confronting the places that we're not ashamed of, or that we don't want to see, or that we were wired to not see. The blind spots that we live with every single day. It's easy for us to continue to turn our heads away or bury our heads in the sand. It's very hard to confront that energy, to pull it up from the root, to feel it, to deeply feel it, to mourn parts of ourselves that are lost, to mourn parts of ourselves that we didn't want to confront any longer. We didn't want to see it. We didn't want to stay with it. Also, if there's parts of you that are being pulled, not just pulled up, but growing. You're growing in your purpose. You're growing in your destiny. You have a path. It is clearly called out to you, but it requires courage. It requires conviction. It requires determination, dedication, persistence, resilience. These are parts of you that it's going to hurt you more to go to bed at night and not take a step towards your destiny. It will hurt. It will haunt. So you then have the opportunity to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am afraid, but I'm courageous. I'm unsure, but I am bold. I feel vulnerable, but I am brave. I feel lost, but I am present, and I am intelligent, and I am intuitive, and I will find my way. And if I don't find my way, I'll build the way. Try me. Try me. Try me. So that's the energy of this week. Let's go ahead and pull these cards over. Yep, Seven of Cups reversed. This is I can't see, or I am overwhelmed, or I am burdened. We have the Death card reversed, Rebirth reversed. This is, some of you guys might retreat when you don't know what's the next step. Let's say if you're walking down a path in the park, in a new park, and there's a twist and a turn and you can't see what's ahead of you and you're afraid of gators. Your fear that maybe there's a gator in a place where you can't see stops you from walking the path, but you didn't realize that if you turned that path, you would have been confronted with a spirit guide, like an animal spirit guide, an animal totem that was waiting for you and just needed you to be brave and bold and trust yourself. Yes, you can be nervous and unsure and uncertain, but if you feel a call and it's pulling, you have the choice, and you are empowered in this moment to continue to take steps forward. With the Death card, there is always the true honesty of the moment, that there's times where you have to mourn, where there's times where you have to break free, where there's times where you are given the scissors to sever the tie, to cut the cord, to free yourself of the past, and your hands may be shaking, but you got to do it. You got to do it for you. You got to do it for your future. You got to do it for your children. You got to do it for your happiness. You have to do it for your health. You have to do it for your ancestors. I don't know what your main motivating factor is, but you got to do it. Ace of Cups. Once you cut and sever that cord, guess what? Something bursts open. Something important bursts open. Something that is more valuable than money itself, more valuable than your ego and recognition and acknowledgement or accolades, the pat on the back. Something here is worth more than gold, is ahead of you. It could be the fact that you find God again after questioning your faith, after feeling lost, after feeling rejected by the church. You know, everyone's story is different here. You end up finding true divine energy, and you'll be so surprised and shocked, and everyone's story and path is different, but it's yours to discover. For someone here, you could be finding love. For someone here, you could be refinding yourself. There could be images that you see of yourself in the past that you have said goodbye to, and you didn't even realize that that part of yourself was being laid to rest. And you see her, you see him, and it awakens something within you today. Three of Swords. Yes, there's going to be an interesting space of mourning. There's going to be an interesting trigger or cracking open, like a little cocoon, an inner apocalypse, you know, of just realizations. This is important though, because when you feel it, when you feel the emotion, you are freeing yourself. You are liberating yourself from being plastic, a plastic human being, a robot, someone who just moves in alignment and does what's told. No, you're freeing yourself. When you feel your emotion, you don't continue. You're more likely to break the past patterns than repeat them. You're going through the hardest part, and the hardest part gets easier over time. Not because you learn how to handle the burden and carry the burden, but because you're finally letting the burden go. You're finally putting it down. Hangman. Speaking of putting it down, this is lifting your feet up. This is surrendering. This is trusting, the trust fall, the divine trust fall. Supreme awareness. When you let your ego go, when you let your restrictions and the things that confine you, and some things that you're not even aware of, Seven of Cups reversed here, but you're becoming aware because it's aching. There's a part of you that's aching. There's a part of you that keeps calling out. There's a part of you that's sore. There's a part of you that's weeping. And instead of drawing your eyes to it, you're like, no, I'm used to that pain. I'm used to that infection. Oh no, that infection, ignoring that infection could be the very thing that kills you. Cross, cancel, delete, knock on wood. I don't mean physical killization. I mean spiritually numbs you to the point where you're walking this earth. Some of you guys are very emotional. Some of you guys are powerful with your sensitivity, but this world doesn't support your sensitivity. They ostracize you, they attack you, they bully you because you feel so much, but they don't feel enough, and you're the leader. So allow yourself to feel this big emotion, to let it out, release it, relinquish it, be a leader within that. Show people that it's safe. Show people that you can lose it all and gain something back that is worth more than money and gold and attention. You have path, you have purpose, you have conviction, you have blessings, you have alignment, you have peace. Those things are more important. It's worth whatever it is that you're confronting right now. So I am sending you guys all of my love. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. We are working really quickly. We are working through divine feminine energy. This oil that I created was inspired and also helped me through pregnancy and delivery and held my hand into motherhood. And it is what I never knew that I needed. It did sell out. I will reopen in about 28 days. If you need this oil or other items from the apothecary, which did reopen, I will really recommend that you sign up for Behati, the Behati newsletter on my website. If you scroll down all the way at the bottom of the page, you'll see the newsletter sign up there. It's free, and I don't spam. If anything, I neglect that newsletter. I just send out a notification to allow people to shop before everyone else, because everything does sell out fast, very, very fast. very, very grateful and very blessed for that. But I understand that it can frustrate a lot of people when you've been waiting. That's the way to get on that list. When it comes to intuitive readings and astrology predictions, I'm mom first. That is my first priority. That is the thing that gives me the most joy. That is the thing that has broken me open in the most beautiful way ever I could have ever imagined. But in this season, I've created Behati Love Notes in order to prepare myself to be very consistent and active and continuing my purpose and my path here on earth, which is helping guide people through their transition, their awakening, definitely divine feminine. I love my divine feminines out there. So that's available for you. The links for that will be down below. Everything else, if you have a question or a comment, just go ahead and hit me on info@BehatiLife or the text message that I have, which I haven't responded to you guys yet, but I will. The phone number is 727-222-3530. It is me. It goes directly to my phone or my assistant's phone, and we'll answer all of your questions, okay? Until then, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Check the links below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.